Good evening.
Is my mic muted?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Well, I was just telling all the people hello. You guys cannot hear me. I'm saying hello, hello, hello. So sorry about that little technical difficulty, but we are here. We are back once again. It is your host, Nadia, and your host, Miss Levita. How
How
you
are
doing
you?
today, Miss Levita?
I'm
I'm
doing
I'm pretty good.
excellent and happy Sweeties Day to all you sweeties out there in Sweeties Land.
Okay, see, I'm bad. I did not even know it was Sweetie's Day. I really is it?
I believe so.
Okay, well, I must be out of the loop. And you would think I would know it was Sweetie's Day because we just did Love Connection last night. Boy,
Oh,
was that a
yeah.
fun show.
Yes, it
You
was.
know, one thing about our channel, She's Successful, is that we're here to help you develop in your life, develop with your mind, your spirit, your heart. And I think last night, I'm hoping I got my fingers crossed that we made a love connection. So if anybody out there wants to be connected, make sure you inbox us to be a contestant on our international love connection. We film it Friday nights. And if you did not see it, go on our page, watch it, because it was just for our first show. I think it was off the hook for our very first love connection. I have to say, I haven't seen it on Facebook before. So I think we might be having a little bit of original content here, but I think all in all, it was a hit. So that's my opinion. I felt very positive and very good about it. What you think about the show?
I think we did. I think we hit it into the ballpark. I think for our very first
We had
show,
some real
I
interesting.
think we
Yeah, it
did
was
it.
some real interesting um bachelors on there. They had some really interesting, answers to the young lady's questions. So, but please, if you want to be hooked up, because we're here not only for your mind and the spirit, but for the love connection as well. So if you're looking for love in your life and you want us to hook you up, hit us up and we will hook you up. So, our show is about, the mind helping you get into a better space so that you can reach your goal. It's about your spirit, overcoming, different barriers that you faced in life. And now it's also about your health and your body too, because we want you to be able to take care of yourself. Speaking of that, I got to take a quick commercial break because I have to talk to you about goalies. Somebody last night commented, they said I was eating so many goalies, they thought I was going to overdose on them. But once you start, they're so good. It's really good, and so. Kickstart your day with Goalie. Use our code She's Successful and save 10% on your order. These gummies include vitamins B12 and B9 that support healthy immune function, heart health, and maintain healthy energy metabolism. Okay, and we are back. So let me take a little goalie right now because I need a little energy. Because, like I said, after last night's show, I had to go back and watch it again. It was so good.
And I,
Um,
I
but
got
today
one
we
right here
have
too. I'm going to take, and they
you
are.
got one
When I
too.
say they're good, they're good.
They're good because it's like you really don't even realize. I think it's vitamin B12 in here. You don't even realize that it's like healthy for you because it tastes so good. But it really does. It supports like your um, immune system and your heart health. But they're so good. So I'm gonna try not to take as many as I did yesterday. But they're so good, so I got to limit myself. But the benefits of Goldie, they're really good. But today we have an awesome young lady on our show. She has overcome so many barriers and struggles in her life to become the owner of a corporation and a non-for-profit. So today, ladies and gentlemen, we have Miss Antoinette Logan joining us today. I have a brief video to show you to tell you a little bit about Miss Antoinette.
Antoinette Logan is a media professional and international author based out of Atlanta and Chicago. She has worked her way up in the branding and marketing field to being CEO of the full-service creative company called The Altered Image Agency. And she is also the founder of a nonprofit called Bonded by Birth. From pain to positivity, she has set out on a mission to serve. She is a life coach who teaches from experiences and personal connections.
Welcome, Miss Antoinette.
Thank you so very much, ladies.
We are
That was
so
beautiful.
happy to have you here with us today. This show, as I said before, is about inspiring others. And I think just hearing your story, you are such an inspiration and you continue to help people. So just
so
welcome to the show.
Thank you, ladies. It's an honor to be here. That was such a beautiful introduction. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
No
We're going to
problem.
start out by asking you to, first of all, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your business adventure.
All right. My name is Antoinette Logan, as you mentioned. I'm the CEO and founder of the AIM Agency. We're a creative agency that focuses on brand development and lead generation strategies. We take our clients from idea to brand, brand to business, business to elevation and profits, meeting you where you are to help you achieve your next level business goals.
Okay, for those who quite don't understand what it is that you do, can you just kind of break it down to a person? Um, how do your business help them out?
Well, everything first starts off with a consultation. You give me a call and tell me what's happening, what it is that you think is your problem. Because a lot of times what the customer thinks is the problem isn't actually the problem. But while they're explaining those details, we can really key in and say, okay, we know exactly what your problem is. But everything starts with a consultation. From there, if you're a new business owner and you're trying to start a business or something like that, we really help you dig in to actually make that idea become a real product or service. So it's a lot of different stages that that happen in between actually building a brand, but it just really depends on where you are first. We have to have that consultation so we can meet you exactly where you are to help you achieve that next level business goal. We're all about immediate action, things that you can do right now to implement into your business to see some results fairly soon, not a year from now or 5 years from now. It's all about what we can do now.
Okay, for those entrepreneurs that are maybe struggling and need a few tips of to get going and to get started good, what would you recommend for someone just getting started out there in business?
Well, I would definitely say once you know what it is that you want to do, this product or the service that you're going to offer, the first thing you want to do is get to know who your ideal client is or your customer. Know as much as you can about them, because building this brand around this business, had to belch. Building this brand, you're going to want to create it based upon who your customer or your client is. So you want to know what they do, where they work, did they graduate college, do they have children, are they married, what their income is like, how they're living, are they in the city, are they in the country, are they living in the suburbs? You want to know as much information about them, because all of those things make up to tell you how you need to market to them. So the type of logo that you have needs to speak to them when you can't, when you're not even in the room or not in front of them. The messaging that you have on your advertisement, it needs to match up to that particular person, not you, if that makes sense. So knowing who your target audience is first. Second, it's building that brand to speak directly to them. And then the third thing is just staying consistent, whatever your consistency is.
Okay, for the new person that's out here struggling with brand, kind of explain to the people what a brand is, what all it involves, and how does that make you successful?
A brand is the brand is not the business. The business is the thing that you have, but the brand itself is the perception that the public has about your business or product. So your branding is all about your voice, your imagery, how you show up, the tone of your voice, meaning how I speak on Facebook is not the same way I speak on Snapchat. How I speak on TikTok is not the same way I speak on Instagram. So all of the different aspects that speaks to your customers is what really makes up your brand. It's the whole perception overall. That's what the brand is.
Okay, so say for instance, I would like to open up a boutique or something. What would be some of the things that I would need to be prepared for, as far as would I need to know exactly what my competition is doing? What are some of the things that I should do my homework on?
Well, I will say this, market research is very important. However, I work a little bit different, and this is not what I necessarily suggest to someone who doesn't do branding and marketing, but I don't focus so much on the competition. If it were me building a clothing brand, because there's so many different types of boutiques out there, I don't care what the competition is doing. What I do care about is my client, the person that I'm trying to sell to, because knowing that, I can create the marketing that I need to around that business to speak to that person so that they'll know that I have what they need and I'm where they need to shop at. So I would really define who are the people that I want to come into my boutique or to come onto my boutique's website and shop. What type of clothes do they like? Are they big? Are they small? Are they all sizes? Are they women only? Or is it men and women? Is there children? Just really narrowing down all of the things that you need to know about your target audience. And the truth is, one brand can also have multiple audiences. So you're going to niche down multiple times. So if you're dealing with women and you're dealing with men, then you will make marketing material that is consistent to those different audiences, which both of those could look very different, but you still are going to make it under your branding to them. It still would be cohesive to the pieces of your marketing material where it looks like it fits in, if that makes sense.
Okay, that makes sense. So let me ask you this: what about people when they talk about niches? What is the niche? How do people determine what their niche is? I guess that may be the same question you maybe answered already, but just kind of
It's
break it down to people when they hear the word niche, what it kind of means.
it's not really the same thing.
Okay.
I have a quote that I always say, don't put me in a box because I'm never gonna fit in it. Period. My brand is Ask Miss Logan because you can literally ask me about a lot of different things that don't all go together. Does that make me less valuable because I don't have a niche? Not at all. Does it make me more valuable? Maybe to some, maybe not to others. Some people want to go see a general doctor because they just need to know what's wrong. Whereas other people need a specialty doctor because they need somebody that has studied specifically in this one thing for X amount of years to really figure out what's going on with that particular body part. So that's how I look at niching. Depending on the type of business that you have, there are reasons to niche down and only focus on a certain type of audience or client or customer base. But then there are other business models that don't require you to have to niche down. So like when we look at a business such as Walmart, we know a lot of different type of people shop there. But what we do know is if we had to choose a niche for Walmart, I would probably say that if I'm trying to come up with a terminology for their customer base, I would compare it to Target. I would say, okay, more budget friendly people. That's the only niche that I could put Walmart in just off the top of my head thinking because so many different types of people shop there. Now, there are wealthy people that shop there too, that will also shop at Target. Some people call it Target, or they might shop at Macy's or these other high-end stores. But for certain things, they may find their way in Walmart. So just saying that to say that I don't personally get too hooked on niches because it really depends on the business and the business model of that particular business.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. there's some stories in the press that we are going through a maybe a crisis, and that everything is like tightening up. What would you recommend a person that's in business right now? That some of the things that they should be doing, or some of the signs they should be looking for, as far as being recession proof with their business. Um, what would you? How would you speak upon that?
Well, when we say recession proof, what I think of is things that are a necessity. So if you have a business that isn't necessarily something that everybody have to have consistently, then I think that you either need to pivot and then be a little bit innovative and look at your industry and what you can create that is a necessity item. Because to me, recession proof is all about how can I keep the sales coming? That's what I think about when I think of recession proof. So the only way to do that is to have something that is constantly being needed in the industry that
Mhm.
you're in. And if the industry that you're in isn't an industry that people have to, have to support or participate in, then maybe to be recession proof, you might have to add a new business to your umbrella that is in one of the areas of interest that everybody would constantly need to do business in.
Okay, that sounds good. Nadia, is there any questions you'd like to
Yeah,
ask?
I have a few questions. I have a question in regards to new entrepreneurs. Oftentimes, when people are first starting a business, they spend thousands of dollars on marketing, and they still miss the mark. So, what do you think that they're doing wrong in their branding and their marketing? Even though they got, they're spending thousands of dollars, but they're still not bringing in the clientele. Like from your experience working with these businesses, where do most businesses miss the mark?
In the beginning, actually, a lot of people start out with whatever their personal likes are in regards to their business. So if their favorite color is pink and they start a new business that has nothing to do with the color pink or the psychology of the color pink, they got this logo that doesn't speak to their audience. They do these graphics that doesn't speak to their audience because it's just not relaying or conveying the message that needs to be conveyed according to the industry that they're in. Other things that people do, if they're not experts in branding and marketing, they go and hire different people to do different stuff. So they got one person making a flyer, they got another person doing the business cards, somebody else doing the website, somebody else doing this other stuff. And when you look at it all together, it's a big mess and it doesn't look good. It's not conveying the message. And sorry, but you're just chasing yourself around in a circle like a dog chasing his own tail. It's just not gonna hit the mark. Now, if you're focused on the people that you know, like your friends, and your friends and family truly do support you, that's a different thing. Because even with that mess that you got, they still shopping with you because they just want to shop with you. But if we're talking about really building a business that is fully supported by people you don't know, that people that you don't feel owe you nothing, people that want to shop with you because your product is what they need, want, and have to have, that's a different thing. And you got to do it differently.
Okay. When we talk about branding, there are a lot of businesses out here that may be woman owned or minority owned. And oftentimes we see them brand themselves as, hey, I'm a woman owned business or I'm a minority owned business. Do you think that's a good thing or a good way to brand your company? Do you think that's like what should stand out in front, or what do you think is most important?
I think that there are variables to the answer of that question. If you are focused on funding for your business, then I understand
Mhm.
why you're focused on utilizing that terminology. And honestly, I don't know if you have to publicly brand yourself as that to get the funding, or you just need to be that and fill it out on the application, because
Right.
that's the only time that I think you have to do that if you know you're looking for your funding. Now, if you are a business that is in the space of being focused on minority owned, or your clientele is focused on women and women that do business with women owned businesses, then yes, I could see why you would brand yourself with those things. Me personally, I put it like this. I just recently started utilizing the CEO terminology on a regular. I used to show up for meetings for the AIM agency as the operational manager, not showing up saying that I'm the owner and I'm the CEO and all these high titles.
Right.
Because truthfully, in some circles, some places, the color of your skin actually matters to the decision maker. And
Right.
when you show up sometimes as the CEO and the owner, and you're the color like me and you, sometimes it doesn't go well because they're not interested in supporting that particular person of color. However,
Right.
when your branding is done right and your marketing is done right, when you look at it, if I take my name away from it and take my picture off, you don't know what color I am, but you know my work damn sure look good. Excuse my language.
Right.
So I can
Right.
still get a contract if I'm not representing it in that way. You know, nobody's
In
really
that way.
doing a whole lot of homework to say, well, who's the owner of the company? Are they black? Are they white? Are they this? Are they that? Unless it's something comes up that makes them think they need to do that. You get what I'm saying? So I think that it just depends on
Absolutely.
the individual. If you want to really market specifically to those groups of people because those are your target audiences or not. Because for me,
Right.
whether you're male or female, whether you're minority or not, that part doesn't, not saying
Right.
that you don't matter, but that's not
Business
a
is
factor.
business. Right.
Right.
Right. So, as the owner of AIM agency and people that want to come and utilize your services, for startup businesses, I'm speaking to, or not even just startups, people that just need to go back and rebrand and remarket. What percent of their budget should they always set aside to put just towards branding and towards marketing?
That's a hard question too, because I don't think that that's the same thing for everyone.
Okay.
I can't really, I'll be honest, I really can't answer that question because I'm really not, it's just not a solid answer. Some services that you
Okay.
need in branding may cost a different fee than other well, it's not may. All services cost
Right.
different fees, and sometimes the fees are based upon how much of that you need and the time frame you need it, and it's just so many different variables. It's really hard. But what I will
Hard
say,
to pinpoint.
yeah, it is. But I will say that branding is the most important thing to do first, because if you start marketing a business that has no branding, unless you focused on people that already know you, you're just marketing for nothing, because the marketing asset is not going to convey the message that it needs to convey to the person you want to give you their money. So if you get your brand together first, then those marketing efforts will work. Branding is what the brand itself is, what you're marketing. And then the sale comes from the marketing efforts. So without the brand, you have nothing to market, which means that you're really not going to get sales outside of your own supportive community that you already know.
Okay. Speaking of branding, Connie Denny has a question for you. She said, what stands out? What makes a brand stand out from other brands? What are like
Knowing
the
your
key points that make your brand stand out?
Well, for one, knowing your USP, your unique selling point, you really need to know what's different about your brand that other brands aren't doing, or if they are doing something similar, what about yours is different? That's like why you have to shop here. That is very important to know. That alone
Okay.
will help you stand out.
Okay, gotcha. We got another question here from Mr. Nathan. He says, does unique niches help to grow businesses more? Having a unique niche.
Um, That's 50-50 in my mind. I'm not going to say that's the actual fact, but I think it's 50-50, because you can have a niche that's so unique that people may or may not understand it. you can have a niche that's so unique where the audience in that niche is so small, it's not many sales to get. You know what I mean? So, and I don't know what type of niche that you're actually speaking of, but I'm just saying, I think that it can go both ways.
Okay. We got a lot of questions here. Adam Dodd says, do you think the brand name holds the most important part in a business? So is the name like a catchy name? You need something unique that's really going to stand out.
Sometimes. So, if it was like a trucking company or a logistics company, something like that, that the branding of it really don't matter, then the name of it don't really matter either, because you just really need paperwork so you can funnel the business and the contracts how they need to be funneled. But for something that is a brand that deals with the public and the people, yes, you do want your brand name to, it is very important to either be very unique to you, where people are going to always know it's you, or where it kind of it sells itself in a way so that people know what it is that you do within that name, if possible.
Right. So the name is very unique and it has to kind of sell itself. We'll take another question. Wolfgang Ritter says, what is the most important thing for entrepreneurs at the beginning stage? I think you kind of covered
I
that.
can't say it enough. Knowing your customer. That's the most important thing. Know that customer first. The more you know about the customer, the easier it is to build out your brand. Because once you know them, you're literally picking everything about your brand according to them. When you're thinking about the logo colors, you're gonna say, "Oh, I'm somebody who likes." If I'm doing a lawn business and I need to now build out my logo, I'm going to say, oh, somebody who likes greenery. So I know for sure that logo needs to have green in it. If I got a lawn business, maybe a little bit of brown, maybe some yellow, but definitely green. When I think about the fonts, the typography that I'm going to use, if it's a lawn business and I know that I'm going to have advertisement on my car or advertisement on a billboard, I think I need bold font, because I need you to really see what these words are and what it's talking about, no matter where you see it at, because you may see this advertisement while it's moving and can't remember or notice what the name of that company was. So definitely just know your customer as much as you can about them.
Okay. And so that's kind of like when you're talking about your target audience or your target population or who you're trying to sell to. Can you go a little bit more for people who are new to that term and don't know how to pick their target customer base? Should that be like in the business planning stage they should do that? Or like at what point should they get to that?
So there are people that teach on this particular part a little bit different. Some people say go ahead and lock the business down first. And when we say business, we're talking about legalities. Your LLC, Inc. corporation, whatever formation you're gonna have, like all the legal stuff. But then you have some people that teach to say, nah, build the brand and share it out with the world first. First, go and see, is there really a need for this business before you go start spending a whole lot of money on it, and then it's kind of like a flop. And I say that because you can have a great business and it still be a flop. If you start a business that is identical to your biggest competitor and you don't have a unique selling point, what about your business is going to make you get customers, right? So I personally feel like you should build out the brand first on the basic levels. Like, think about what that brand name is going to be. Make sure that it matches everywhere you are, all social media platforms, domain availability, not owned or being used by somebody else. You could definitely check that trademark. And once you know that you got a solid brand that you can move with, and when I say that, meaning not that you already got the logo designed or any of that type of stuff, just that the term and the name that you're going to go with, once you know that that's good to go, then I would say start focusing on who you're selling to at that point. Because once you do that and you know what you need to know, you double back to go and now build out the assets.
Right.
Okay,
Now,
I would like
earlier
to
you
just,
touched on.
oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to ask you a question as far as business structure. What is the best business structure for people to do nowadays? As far as when I say business structure, I mean LLC. Is it recommended to get an L? Everyone is saying, well, yeah, I should get an LLC or get incorporated. What is the best business structure to have now in 22, 23? And why is it important to have that structure? What is the benefits?
I will say that that is a question for a business development expert or a tax expert,
Okay.
because I honestly feel that your formation depends on you and your direct situation and your overall business goals. I don't think that when people are saying, everybody's saying go get an LLC, no, don't listen to what they saying on social media. People,
Mhm.
first of all, need to stop thinking that just because you see it on social media, that makes it
Mhm.
fact and makes it king. It's not true.
Mhm.
Anybody can create whatever meme they want to and start sharing it. And if you don't do your facts and your own research, you just think that you got this information that doesn't necessarily have to be true. So a LLC that works for this group of people may or may not work for somebody else, depending on what you're really trying to do. A person that is really building like an empire business, like they got one hub and then they're going to have 12 other companies under there, I definitely wouldn't suggest that their main company be a LLC by itself. I would suggest something else more than likely. And I'm not really trying to give you advice on that because that's really not the lane that I focus on. When I do business development help, the only thing I'm doing is organizing the paperwork once you've told us what you want to do. I don't really advise you on which way to
Right.
go because I think an expert in that lane is better to give you the ins,
Mhm.
the outs, and the details that you need to know.
Okay, that sounds good. We just clearing up some of this social media stuff. Okay. Nadia?
Antoinette, Richard Smith in the comments says sometimes it's difficult to choose targeted audiences for our businesses. Can you suggest something for rookies?
I think that most people, they want to serve everybody. They're like, I can sell to anybody. Yeah, you probably can with the product that you have, but everybody isn't your target audience. And I'll use myself for an example. Even though most anybody that wants to start a business could use my help, there this is so funny, and I need to decide if I want to say this publicly or not. I recently
You
had a
want to hear me now?
with my crew about it, but there are groups of people, and the only reason why I've grouped them is because this similar age bracket of people, I've had similar situations with this same age group of people, right? So for me, I'm like, you know what? I don't think that this group of people is my target audience. And I'm going to say between age 60 and older. I said, I don't think they're my target audience. And the reason why I said that is because what I noticed with the people I had worked with in that age group was that when it came to branding, they didn't really understand, even though some of them said that they were in the branding industry, actually. So we have people, let's say she's successful is doing an event with me and I got to make the flyer. How do you feel if I make a new logo for She's Successful?
Right.
Is that okay with you?
Depends
I
on what
don't.
the logo's like.
That don't make sense.
I like our logo.
But that
It has
don't
to
make
fit
sense.
us.
Okay,
That's right.
act
It
like
has
you're
to fit us.
Walmart.
We
Act like
actually
you're
had a
Walmart.
situation like that when somebody tried to, change our logo and stuff. So we kind of had a situation like that where we had some
See,
business cards made and somebody changed up on us. So
yeah, it's a thing. If you were doing an event with
yeah,
Walmart, if She's Successful got an event and Walmart
yeah,
sponsored it, is Walmart gonna let you just type Walmart in any font that you want to?
right,
That would
right.
be terminated before you could even blink. So it's certain things that I was noticing with certain age brackets of people. So bringing it back to his question, you can serve a lot of people, but you want to know who your ideal customer is based upon how you want to work with the people you want to work with. So that's it. I can only say this. You have to write down on a list of the client that is your ideal client, literally. My ideal client, give that person a name. So if I'm going to give her a name, my ideal client is Amy. Amy owns a business. Amy has some form of education. Amy makes 7 figures a year at her day job, but she want to exit out of her day job and start her own business. Amy understands branding and marketing. She just doesn't know how to achieve her goals herself. Amy, she's a mom. She got multiple kids, so she really ain't got a lot of time. So she really need me because she don't got a lot of time. You know what I mean? Like, you're narrowing down all these things about her. Now, if you have another customer, maybe John is your ideal customer too. Now you got to think about John and go down the list with John. Same thing. As much as you can, though, as many different things that you can think about those people.
So are you
We're going to take
saying
one more
that?
question from the audience.
Oh,
I'm
okay, go
sorry.
ahead.
I was going to read one more question from the
Okay.
audience from William Kincaid. He wants to know that as a CEO, that you suffer any difficulties during your early time. And I just want to add on to that question for people out there that are kind of contemplating starting a business and they feel like they can't do it. Like, what is your advice to them? So that's kind of like a twofold question. So.
Okay. I definitely had struggles in every business that I started, because every business that I started, I created because there was a need for it already. People were already asking me for that thing. So my issue was, I'm putting it together, but you already right there bugging me for it because you need it now. So I'm rushing, trying to get things in order for you and lay it on out so that you can start utilizing the service. Because not only do I want to help you, but I want to get paid too. And the longer that it take me to build it out, the longer it's taking me to get this new client. So that was one of the things that I struggled with, was allowing people to rush my process, because people needed what I was building before it was even ready. And sometimes, when you're passionate about what you're doing, and if you got the know-how, you'll let somebody rush you just because you really do want to see them be successful and help them. But when you rush, sometimes you overlook things. Sometimes things get missed because you was really just moving too fast. So that was one of the things that I definitely struggled with, as well as asking for the amount that I needed. In the beginning of business, a lot of times, people will tell us we should do free work. And I'm not going to lie to you, doing some free work definitely got me a lot of places and a lot of doors that I probably wouldn't have been in had I did it differently. So I'm not going to say don't, but I will say, when you know that your product is valued at what it's valued at, when you know your stuff and you truly are ready to open those doors, don't be afraid to ask for what it is that you are asking for. Be confident, stand on it, and know that one no don't mean no from everybody. That one no is getting you closer to your yes. So be glad and keep it moving.
Okay, let me ask you this. What about some people who have businesses and, they have people that support them, but they're always trained to get them to lower the price because they don't see the value that you see in your product. How do you handle a situation like that?
Well, that's a you situation. It starts with you first. Like my book, it starts with I. It literally does. I am not doing business with anybody that does not see value in me. The same value in me that I see in myself. So if you don't see, I tell people all the time, I'm not a salesperson. I'm not going to try to sell you on the services that I offer. When you come to me and you got a problem, I'm going to talk to you and I'm going to share with you what I know. If you can't tell that I'm an expert at what I'm talking about, or that I know what I know and I can help you, we don't need to do business. That's just that. Same situation. If you don't see value in what it is that I'm offering and you're asking me to change my price, You should go somewhere else. Because when you go to Walmart, do you ask them to change their price? When you go to the person that do your hair, do you tell her to change her price? When you go to the doctor, is you telling the doctor, before you give me this surgery, change the price? You're not doing that. So don't do it here. And if you don't respect that, we don't need to do business. Because I don't want to eat with somebody or not eat. I don't want to watch you eat if you willing to watch me and my family not eat.
There you go.
Because when you
That's
take
right.
away,
That's a good saying right there.
There
and
you
take
go.
away, you're taking away from how I feed me and my family. And if you don't care about
That's
that,
right.
why do
That
I care
part.
about you and yours? Bye, Felicia.
That's right. Bye, Felicia. We got one. Do we have time for one more question that was in here from Michael Smith? He wants to know, is it more beneficial to promote business online rather than offline? So, you got all these online services where you can do ads online, and, do they work versus like the old school way of just mailing flyers and putting ads in newspapers? Like, what is the way to go?
That depends on your business model. But what I will say, which we probably will talk about it. Me personally, in the last 90 days, my brand has expanded a lot just from using online marketing and using my mouth, literally speaking. So, and that's one of what my program is all about. We haven't talked about that yet, but I think it really depends on your business model. If your business is an online business and you don't have like an offline structure or a brick and mortar location, then I would focus online, but that doesn't mean I wouldn't have offline marketing being done. I would still have business cards so that if I actually meet a person face to face, I have something I can share with them. Now, do you have to have a physical business card? Absolutely not. You could do a digital business card where you just Bluetooth it or share it with them, and now that information is there. So it really just depends on you, how you conduct business, how you connect with your customers and your potential customers. All of that is determined by those variables.
Okay.
Iconic Speakers Network.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
The Iconic Speakers Network is a network of individuals who are either aspiring speakers or already speaking and looking to have more speaking engagements. We also have event coordinators, hosts, event planners, people who put on events in that network as well, so that those two groups of people can connect with each other directly. It was kind of organically built because, again, I had a situation in my own business and I needed to pivot and figure out how I was going to get in front of my ideal audience so that I could make the money I needed to make fairly quick due to something that had transpired. So like I said, in the last 90 days, I've spoke on more than 300 platforms, which definitely got me to my goal because now I'm in front of my target audience. I'm speaking on platforms that their audience is my audience, and that helped my business. So what we're looking to do here with the program that's going to be launched, the Iconic Speakers Network directory, the free group, that's already open, available. You can find us on Facebook at Iconic Speakers Directory. Answer a few questions about your speaking experience and come on in. But we're launching a full-blown program for the VIP members. It is going to be a paid program, but it's going to also help you do the exact same thing that I did and so much more. Inside of the program, we have the Iconic Speakers Elevation Program, which is where you go through a class. So if you've never spoke before, you can take this class and truly learn how to bring out the iconic you. We also have a ISP kit, which is the Iconic Speakers Press Kit. And that's where we are giving you all of my media contacts so that you can go and directly connect with them on your own. I used to be a publicist, so I got all these contacts. We like, look, give you these details so that you can literally expand your brand globally without having to leave your house. You can come inside of that program and go and press the button and get booked on more than 300 platforms just like that inside of the program. So
wow, that sounds amazing.
Thank you.
That sounds amazing.
It's for people who want to learn how to be a speaker, But for me, if a person that's already speaking, the way I look at it, I would buy it just because of the contacts, and I can just literally go and get myself the media interviews and booking engagements that I want, because there's speaking opportunities too, like events, summits, conferences. There's a ton of stuff that I'm leaving out, but just follow me and
Right.
we'll connect on social media so you can see all the details, because it's so much coming. We've gotten people booked to speak in Dubai. We've got people booked to speak at virtual events, live events, seminars, mental health summits in California, Arizona. It's so much happening in there, and people are getting results
Wow.
already, and that's just the free side.
Wow.
Wow. That
Yes.
sounds just so exciting. Like, I really want to be a part of it. Let's talk about your book.
Okay. The book, It Starts With I, is an affirmations book that was focused on self-love, mindset, business, wealth, money, and growth. I went on a 2-year tour with that book, and I just traveled the world and wanted to meet up with people who actually needed that message. You know, for me, I wrote that book because I saw my significant other with a woman on accident. I was driving down the street, made the wrong turn, and looked up, and he was with a female, and it just sent me down a whole loop of like just being upset. And the next day I couldn't work. So I'm like, you know what, let me write my affirmations down, because normally I just say them, but today I need to do something a little different. And as I was writing them down that day, I heard a voice loud and clear said, this is a book. So I just got up and organized it as a book. 3 days later, we was published. And 2 weeks after that, I was on the road and didn't come home for 2 years. So
and that book is on your website, and we have all your links below. So that's how you get her book, and you find out where she's going to be speaking at. You're actually going to be in Illinois in October, correct?
Yes, right after my birthday. Birthday's coming up, and this is going to be my fun stage birthday celebration, okay? Because I am going to be with some powerful and amazing women. Shout out to Miss Monique Denton. She's a great woman. She has the Sisters Inspire Sisters Network, and she's who brought me on board, and I'm looking forward to it. The tour has been running prior to now. It's been to Houston, and I think they've been some other places. And I just stay in tune, and you'll find out all the other places that's coming too. But definitely get you a ticket if you're going to be in the area, because you're not going to want to miss what's being discussed and shared on this powerful stage.
Oh, we will be there. So,
and we especially we want to be there when you go to Dubai.
We want to be there.
We want to go to Dubai.
That's like the place to be.
Yes, and you know, we can connect. We can connect because there's plenty opportunities, you know, even for you to speak yourself. There are many opportunities to share what you have. All of us, as we go through life, you're constantly gaining experience and skill sets. So even when you feel like you're not an expert because you haven't been doing that one thing for 20 years, that doesn't mean that what you know and what you have isn't valuable. Everybody can teach somebody something, no matter how big or small you think the thing you're sharing is. Because to somebody that don't know that thing that you calling little, they looking at it like a big thing, because that one piece of information might be the one thing that's connecting them to everything they're trying to do. So I say that to say, join us. If you'd like to speak on the platform, I can help you with that too, because we are booking speakers for Dubai as well. We actually, today is the last day to get on for the November event. But if you want to speak at any of our others coming up, you already know, just contact me directly.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
That sounds so exciting. Just remember, all of her links are below. So make sure you go, you get her book. And even if you have a business already established, go and rebrand your business. Contact Miss Logan and get your business rebranded. People think because it's already started that you don't need to do anything. No, take your business to the next level. So get with Miss Antoinette Logan and take your business to the next level. We want to thank everybody. We want to thank you, Antoinette, for joining us today.
Thank you.
It was so great having you on the show. To all our viewers, make sure that you visit her website. And also you get tickets for her tour, so that you could go out and possibly meet you in person.
Yes.
And also sign up for a consultation. Yes.
I do want to say, you yourself that's listening, If you want to be on tour, we also have what we call the iconic tour, where you yourself can go on tour and we set it up for you. I didn't mention that because it's really an exclusive offer specifically to our VIP members. But once you join the group, you'll have access to everything that we're doing, and we offer that to you as well.
Wow.
One more thing I gotta let you guys know, Miss Antoinette Logan is also a singer.
Yes,
She does it all. She does it all. So I would like to know if we could close out our show with some smooth sounds from Miss Antoinette Logan.
Yes, thank you.
Freedom is a state of mind. I am free because I choose to be. I am free because I choose to be. I am free because I choose to be.
You got the power to change what's happening around you. It is the hour to make your vision come true. Manifest your goals when you say so. Let your soul shine through. Your light so bright and we can see your truth. Your love so right and we can feel all of you. I wanna be free, free as a bird flying high in the sky. Free, free in my mind with no cages surrounding me. Free, free to sow my seeds, growing like a tree. Free to use my keys, living life like a dream. Free, free. I wanna be free like the master, free like pastor, doing what I want, living life carefree. When a bird sings, it seems so pretty, seems like it's living kinda happy to me. The color of my skin has the pain embedded in it. The world is a game and I just wanna win, but they make it so hard, they know I go far. Travel around the globe, I don't even need a car. No matter where you are in life, you gotta keep going. Take the time, take it all in, because it can all end. In the blink of an eye with tears asking why, Lord, why me? Why? I just wanna be free. Dear self, I wanna know what is really going on. I'm tired of watching us die, scrolling on my phone. I'm living all alone, I don't know what to do. Well, if not you, then please tell me who. See, this mission for the righteousness and of the chosen few. And if you've been chosen, it's something you can do to elevate your realm and levitate your mind. Become one with self and you can do it anytime. Be free, free, free as a bird flying high in the sky. Free, free in my mind with no cages surrounding me. Free to sow my seeds, growing like a tree. Free to use my keys, living life like a dream. Free. Everything you learn is everything you know. No matter what they take, what you know won't go. With a little bit of this and a whole lot of that, you can put it all together, now you're on a new track. You can run but don't hide, cause royalty resides in all black lives and my native tribes. You can run but don't hide, cause royalty resides in all black lives and my native tribes. So we gotta stick together through any kind of weather, cause it's gonna get worse before it gets better. We gotta stick together through any kind of weather, cause it's gonna get worse before it gets better. Be free, free, free as a bird flying high in the sky. Free, free, free in my mind with no cages surrounding me. Free, free to sow my seeds, growing like a tree. Free to use my keys, living life like a dream. Free, free, a bird flying high in the sky. Free, free, free in my mind with no cages surrounding me. Free, free to sow my seeds, growing like a tree. Free to use my keys, living life like a dream. Free, free.
Freedom is a state of mind. I am free because I choose to be. I am free because I choose to be. I am free because I choose to be.